How did a truck driver's daughter raise wives for a British prince and a London millionaire? There's a wonderful observation. Men owe a lot of their success to their lovers, but great women come from the guidance of their mothers. Both Catherine and Charlotte were incredibly lucky. They were born into a strong and close-knit family. Their mother, Carole Middleton, always knew what to do and how to do it, and she could even argue with influential royalty when it came to her daughter's happiness. Today, we're going to tell you about this incredible woman who has hard work, patience, a sense of style, and the wisdom to be herself. Today, watching Carole strive to be close to her successful daughters and get on camera with them, you realize that she's basically an ordinary woman with very earthy foibles. But you have to agree, she too has earned her moments of fame. After all, she was born into a family of truck drivers and probably, like many girls, also dreamed of becoming a princess. But the ambitions of an already mature lady were always under control, and the desire to marry off her daughters successfully never prevailed over a mother's love. The girls grew up in austerity, but their psyche was not traumatized. Carole gave birth to her first daughter at the age of 26 to an ordinary air traffic controller. At the time, the attractive stewardess could not have imagined that she was carrying the future wife of the crown prince. However, the lively woman did not just indulge in daydreams either. She always knew exactly what she wanted and what she could count on. After all, only a few married princes on a white horse, and the chances of meeting him were minimal. The poor family could barely make ends meet, and an acquaintance at a prestigious educational institution or at a reception was not to be thought of. And to boast of Carole to the nobility was nothing. Only very distant relatives once had titles, the family coat of arms was long lost, and the financial condition allowed to settle for only a modest house in the west of the British capital. Therefore, after graduating from state school, the attractive girl had no choice but to go to work for British Airways. That's where she met regular boyfriend Carole Middleton. The young man could not boast of blue bloods, but at least his relatives were rich. But at that time, one could not count on the inclination of relatives, so the newlyweds continued to live from paycheck to paycheck and believed that apart from money, there was more valuable love and mutual support. And one day patience and hard work were rewarded. Carole, in order to entertain her daughters, took it upon herself to sew them bright, colorful costumes for home shows. The idea of selling costume accessories for children's parties was born. The family business proved successful, so much so that Michael even quit his job and became the administrator of their small company, Party Pieces. At the same time, Carole continued to save money and calculate the family budget to set aside money for the children's prestigious education. This allowed Kate to send her children to a private primary school. Well, a little later, the couple received a long-awaited inheritance from her grandmother. It wasn't huge money, but it still allowed the Middletons to classify themselves as affluent middle class. So by the end of the 90s, the couple could boast 3 long-awaited babies, a successful business, and most importantly, an atmosphere of harmony and mutual love. 2 daughters, a headache or a great investment for the future. Carole was well aware that without excellent education and connections, it was impossible to build a successful career, even for girls. Therefore, the family spent a portion of the fallen fortune, not only to expand housing. They bought an old Bucklebury mansion in Berkshire with land of 7.3 hectares, but also to ensure that the children have access to the best private educational institutions in England. So Catherine, Pippa, and James graduated from St Andrews Preparatory School, then the Down House School, and then it came the turn of Marlborough College, the cost of education in which is £30,000 per year. The girls were not only taught the refined manners of a true lady, but they were also instilled an interest in art and literature and foreign languages. Catherine and Pippa also developed a fondness for sport. However, the habit of daily exercise and the obligation to monitor the diet was instilled in them by their mother. To this day, Carole has a chic figure despite her advanced age and the presence of 3 children. The mother of the family even got an incredibly valuable compliment from Karl Lagerfeld himself. Commenting on the wedding ceremony of Kate, the great couturier noted that of all the ladies Middleton, Carole looks the sexiest. The Channel couturier also noted that Carole's style is always elegant, and the woman always did not betray it. Even in the period of moneylessness, she always remained attractive. So it should come as no surprise that Kate and Pippa have been used to seeing their mother well-dressed since childhood and have adopted the habit of looking good in any situation. The wisdom of waiting. It would seem that the dream had been achieved. Both Middleton maidens had received an excellent education, refined manners, and happy days of childhood and adolescence. However, when Catherine entered one of the best universities in the country, Edinburgh University, her mother unobtrusively offered her daughter to wait and rest for a year, especially as tradition dictated that Crown Prince William was to attend St. Andrews University the following year. The wise Carole did not insist. She merely left information for her to think about. And the following year, Kate became a fellow student of the grandson of the current Queen of Great Britain, and Edinburgh University was left to Pippa and James. Of course, no one expected Kate and William to have an instant romance. A mother didn't choose who her daughters went out with. However, she deftly and gently lured her luck, turning the circumstances to her advantage. Eventually, the youngsters fell in love. But William was in no hurry to propose, and her mother's wisdom was to support Kate in these years. Catherine rightly reasoned that it was not a lost 9 years of waiting, but a preparatory work for life in the royal family. The girl, with the help of her mother, was taught the subtleties of official protocol, dealing with the press, learning to restrain emotions, honing her own style of dressing, and learning a lot more. And even when Catherine and William parted ways, the wise mother taught her daughter to stand up for herself, but at the same time to leave room for a backlash. Seeing the anguish of her eldest daughter, Catherine found the right words for the prince, and as a result he made the long-awaited proposal. Royal dignity. Rumor has it that if Princess Diana had had the same support, tragedy would hardly have occurred. Carole as a mother did not fully obey all the royal rules and even caused Her Royal Majesty's displeasure at times. During all 3 of Kate's pregnancies, she lived at Kensington Palace by her side and even allowed her soft but insistent manner to reprimand the crowned spouse when he, in her opinion, did not spend enough time with his wife. So it was no coincidence that the Duchess of Cambridge entrusted her children to her mother during long journeys, and it was to the Bucklebury family estate that the prince's family escaped several times to celebrate Christmas in a genuinely friendly atmosphere. Carole has managed to raise a treasure indeed. The eldest daughter is adored in the UK and considered the ideal wife for the future king. The youngest is happily in a union with millionaire James Matthews, and the son has taken over their family business and is successfully growing it. Of course, if the family had limited resources, the tale is unlikely to come true. However, there are more instances in history where a lack of sincere love and warmth has made life miserable for the wealthy heirs. Now she continues to live an active social life, run her own business, and as a caring mother and grandmother, offers advice to her children. Write in the comments, what do you think about this?